We've been joined by Dr. Shaheer Ellahi. He's an associate professor at the HSA. Thank you very much, Dr. Saab, to have joined us. Dr. Saab, how important was this resolution passed by the joint sitting of the Parliament today and the voices that we heard today in the Parliament?
Extremely important, politically very, very correct in so many ways, and also in terms of our foreign relationships with many other countries that share Muslim brethren and otherwise. On the other hand, I must also find the liberty to condemn this heinous, hideous crime and a wrongful act. And I must say that it is a very, very subhuman act. And that is exactly why most of us are lamented. We are so saddened and hurt about this very hideous crime that has taken place due to the gaps in the Swedish law. And that is exactly why in this declaration under the joint session, most of the voices that are heard are pointing towards the Swedish law, and also that the government must take an action to fill this void, fill this gap, because within Sweden there is this tormented situation. This Swedish law is torn into two different pieces right now, which is freedom of expression and on the other hand, the rights of the minorities. So I see it in this manner that the voices coming from our end, from this joint session, and also from the Muslim brethren are extremely important. But it is also important to look through in a manner that we have a long history of going through protest. Now there is a strong need of standing as intellectuals, as intelligentsia, bringing hands and heads together to fight this menace of Islamophobia. And we just cannot let it loose. We just cannot let it happen every other day by calling it under the name of human rights or freedom of expression. So I think that this session was very, very fruitful and productive.
All right. Also, Dr. Shaheer, I'd like to understand, the Prime Minister, while addressing the joint sitting of the Parliament, said effective measures needed to be taken to prevent such incidents in the future. What preventive measures would you think of, the top 3 preventive measures that need to be taken collectively by the Muslim world or the world at large?
Above all, it stands firmly on the shoulder on the OIC that we must work together to bring laws in a manner that they may be implemented, cross-cut all the Western and other civilization. And the other important thing is to join hands with different academic institutes all over the world to control this so-called hate speech. Because there are so many terminologies that are being confused under the name of human rights and hate speech. And if we look closely, this is politics of provocation. So for me, it's exactly about drawing lines through making certain laws that are implementable cross-cut. I mean, there should not be any gap, or there should not be any flexibility. 2 is to join hands academically so we can make research and bring some concrete, measurable measures to address this mental sickness, this illness, this issue, which is bringing hatred in rest of the world, especially against this most peaceful religion in the world, which is Islam.
And that is what brings me to the very important question, Dr. Shaheer, and this is my last question to you. Why Islam, of all religions? I don't hear people, as the Prime Minister also said, he doesn't hear of people burning the Bible or desecrating the Bible, does he? The only holy book that is burnt is the Holy Quran. Is this a deliberate attempt to evoke reaction and then say, oh, you know, the Muslims are the most violent of all people, look at the way they react to such things, and then bring further impetus to this whole concept of Islamophobia?
Well, absolutely. I agree, yes, that's one. But the other thing is that out of all the books, this Islamic book, which is Quran, our holy book, is very, very vibrant. And that is exactly why we are so attached. Even if we don't read it, we don't translate it, interpret it, we are just able to connect with it emotionally. That is exactly why even if we are not able to understand it, we are so emotionally connected with it that it is exactly like equating provocation. It is like politics of provocation. So I would just sum up with this one beautiful couplet by Iqbal. He said, "Tere zamir pe jab tak na ho nuzul-e kitab, gira kusha hai narazi na sahib kishaf, that we need to demystify the actual secrets of Quran that will give us the spiritual, mechanical, physical and metaphysical order of the world, and that will develop the humanity towards peace again.
All right, thank you so very much, Dr. Shaheer Ellahi, Associate Professor, HSA, to have joined us, to have talked to us about